Greetings and welcome to SmartWatch Ticks. You know how crazy it's gotten around here? It's so crazy that I can't show you this watch. Yeah, I'm serious. This is not on the market yet. In fact, I'm not sure even when it's going to be on the market. So I'm not going to review this watch. But this was a great watch to premiere Robert Poole's amazing watch faces. He's just been messing around with getting his designs converted over to run on what we call the KW88 class of Android standalone smartwatches, of which this particular watch will accept and run. So he wanted to see what they look like, 80 some odd of them that he's gotten converted, and he wanted a little video. And after putting this together and looking at it on this incredible watch, well, I think you should see them too, because they're there and they're running and they're working and they're in really great shape. Now, he may tweak a few of them after seeing this video because it's really for him, but just in case you're interested, here they are. This is his AC/DC watch. Remember, this is an Android standalone, non-removable band kind of a watch that you haven't seen before. But we're not talking about the watch. We're looking at the watch faces today. So I'm going to run through so Robert can see his designs and how they look on this really nice watch here. Yes, and we will review this watch. We will. And I'll let you know what it is later. This is his Art Deco series. Now check this out. These are really cool. You're going to be hearing all the morning sounds in the background as nature wakes up outside my window. As many of you know, I live in a very remote area surrounded by roosters and chickens and other birds. Check this out. Is that sweet or what? It's a joy to show you stuff you haven't seen before, not just a replication of somebody else's thing or some stock watch company. But these are really nice. Even the roosters like them. Chicago World's Fair. Check that out. Yeah. Are these watch faces available? Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure if he wants to leave them up for everybody, they are. Where you can locate them is at his special Google Plus, G Plus location. You can go into, plus.google.com, and then search for KW88 Complete Collection. And if you get a hit, you should get a Google Plus location that has each of these faces on it. Wow! Wow! Robert, amazing work. I swear, really. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't this cool? My goodness. I digress. What did I say? KW88 Complete Collection, he's calling it. He tags under the name Blood Report, so you might see his comments here and there on different things. But this is his full-on collection of watch faces that he's been playing with. He originally set these up so they would work on the tethering watches. The ones that run and tether with the Funduwear app. Wow. And through the Funduwear app, if you set it up properly, you can directly install watch faces pushed from that app to various tethering watches. And they've had some stock ones, and now folks are coming up with custom ones. And I'm pretty sure he's got that part working, so all of the watch faces you're seeing here might run on a number 1 G5 or G6, for example, or that new rotating bezel G3 that they put out. But in the meantime, this is a full-on Android watch, the same class as the Kingwear KW88. And all of these are now running on here lickety-split smooth. Wow. Alien versus Predator? Yep. Okay. That must be breakfast time outside now. Everybody's woken up and they're all off hunting food. You really get a sense for nature, but I wanted to start this early before the sun's too bright in here so you can get a sense for these watch faces. Nice. They're like dashboards of cars, aren't they? Nice. Wow, Bob Marley tribute. Look at that. Rainbow colors. Highway to Blues. I mean, there's something for everybody. That's what struck me when I started looking at all of these. And I was figuring, oh my gosh, I got to go through 80 some. First, I got to install them one by one in a watch. Nice. Wow. Now, if you had a good gold body one or silver with the gold, just so many things you can do with this. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, it looked like it was going to be quite an effort to sit down and do this. And it actually was to get them all in here. But once they're in here, taking a moment to look at them and look at the variety and the quality, I was going, yeah, you know what? Not only am I going to put this little video together so Robert can check them out, but it deserves a little bit of preview to the public, to you guys. So up to him how he wants to handle these, how he wants to offer them to you. But I'm pretty sure right now you can head over to that G Plus that I mentioned, KW88 Complete Collection, and just pick out the ones you like and click on a download button. And again, they're going to come in as APK files. Wow, look at that. I agree. That's the eye of a rooster, doesn't it? Complete with sound, huh? What does it look like on? I haven't even seen this watch on. I know, I digress. I'm showing you the faces, but I want to play a little bit too. That's really cool. Look at how the band works. You haven't seen this before, I guarantee you that. The watch doesn't exist on the market yet, but it will. It's on its way. There will come a day. Okay. Some more. We're only up to the D's, so I've got quite a bit to show you here. Should keep moving. All right. You know, it's getting kind of to the point where we need to change the hands around. And the classic is 10-10, so I'm going to mess with the time and move the hands around for the rest of them. Yes, Rooster, I will move on. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we are back again. That's where we left off. Gold. Wow. Not just gold, but look at the pattern in that. Wow. Yeah, these watch faces will now run on all of these KW88 class watches, which means, let's see how good my memory is, this will do on the IQI, I2, and I3. It should run fine on all of those Lympho ones, like the LF16. It won't run on the fancy big LEM4 that we just did wow, look at that. We just did a review of, but it will run on the LF16. It won't run on the LEM5 or the Finau watches, the X3, X3 Plus, X5, all of those kind. Nor will it run on the number 1 watches. Look at this one. Come on, focus for me. There we go. Now that's different. Look at the translusivity of that. So it will work on certain ones, but not all of them. And you know, the more you view the videos, the more here you'll learn which ones it'll work on, which ones it won't. But the fact that there's all these designer faces available. Is really cool. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I want to tell you something important about the KW88 specifically. If you've got that watch, it turns out, or it looks like, the company has recently done an update to the firmware, an OTA, they call it, right? The over-the-air push. So if you've got a KW88 and it tells you that it's got new firmware for you and you accept it and you install it, it appears now that none of these custom faces will work on the watch anymore. They've changed it so that it's not going to allow you to install these APKs. Wow. Instead, it gives you at the very end of all of them, it gives you a little plus button or plus sign, very similar to what Finau and Number One do on their watches. And when you click on that, you go into a server, and from the server, you can download, all right, I'll be honest, pretty lame watch faces, old original attempts. Some are okay, but most of them are nothing like Robert's work here, nothing at all like that. So I'm pretty disappointed in that. I hope that's not something we're going to see pushed out to all the different watches that use this style of Android 5.1 watch face implementation. But for right now, for the KW88, you're in a world of hurt if you accept that over-the-air update and try to install any of these custom faces, because it's not going to work. You're only limited to the ones they're providing through the server. Why? I don't know. Will they fix it? I hope so. If you've got a KW88, complain. Complain back to where you bought it. Complain to Kingware. Complain to Donald Trump. I don't know. Make America great again and give us our faces back. You know, that kind of stuff. Look at that. Look at this watch. I want this watch. Oh my gosh. I know what I'm wearing today. I just don't know what face. Really cool. All right, so you've already done that update on your KW88. I'm hedging on the questions I'm going to be getting because I can see it coming already. You know, 2 years into doing this, I get a feel for the questions. Yeah, you already did it, and now you can't get the watch faces, but you want them. How do you go back? Well, I don't have an answer for you yet, but most likely you're going to need to flash the earlier firmware. That means I got to get a copy of that firmware and put it in the video down below, and or link to where the firmware is, probably on what they call the Pro boards, the round Android watch Pro boards. Wow. Wow. Robert, you just know how to get me to shut up. And that's, even my Mrs. Tix doesn't. Wow. Wow. Okay. I should be paying more attention. Wow. This is soft and dark. Now it's getting sunny here, so we're having a little more trouble with the lighting, but we got a good run on it right there. So what was I saying? Firmware flashing. Yeah, I think you're going to end up having to flash earlier Kingware KW88 firmware to your watch. Can you cross-flash something like from an an LF16 to Kingware KW88? I don't know. The folks over at the Pro boards know all that technical kind of stuff, so I'm going to yield to those guys for all that deep technical stuff, but just tell you that, recommend to you that you don't accept an update from Kingware's. And wow, look at that. Doesn't it look like there's actually lights shining through there? Beautiful way to handle that effect. Nice. Anyway, if you don't need to update, don't. This is getting kind of dark now. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go down and I'm going to change that to high. Just for this face anyway, so you can see it a little better. Usually high washes everything out. Now, these are the RDP series, and you see there, it's Robert D. Poole. So these are his special custom designs that we're looking at. And Robert, I'm sorry if I'm ignoring you here. I'm talking like I'm talking to everybody, and I am, but I'm actually doing this for you, buddy. This is so you can see these things playing out on your watch, on a watch, on this really amazing new watch that you'll see reviewed eventually. Whole different take on doing the Rolex thing. None of these I've seen before as actual Rolex watches, so pretty fancy. Good use of hands. Look at the detail done in the hands itself. Now I'm sure all of you know, that these watch faces that run on the KW88 style of watch are really limited. You have a background and 3 hands. That's pretty much it. There's a little bit, if you work at it, possibility of having the little window with the date on it. And a lot of people have taken regular stock watch faces and just made copies of them. And you see this little box with the wrong date in it, or the date's been blotted out and it's just black. And it looks like, what's wrong here, But all of Robert's work here doesn't have any of those artifacts. These are like exactly what they should be, a 3-handed watch. Yeah? Now this is interesting. The second hand has a zigzag effect to it. Rustic. All these fancy, fun gears, it would be really cool if they turned, but that's not possible with the engine that's built into this version of the Android 5.5 clock engine. There's a Seiko watch. This one, I love it. I love it. I love it. The Shelby. Way back a long time ago. If you want to play in this channel, go back and look at the, what was it? The S8. I got my start with the S8 as an Android watch. And I did something where I used a little camera on the front at a car show, and I found a Shelby logo on a car, and I took a picture. And then there's a thing about how you can work with the images with the image software that's built into the S8. And I used this Shelby logo and did something like this. I colorized it and played with it and came up with a really cool thing. And little did I know, 2 years later, we would be sitting here with an incredible watch that hasn't even been released yet, showing watch faces by an incredible designer. I mean, I love it. I love where technology's going. Look at the shadowing on that. It really looks 3D, like it's jumping out at you. So, Robert, I don't see where any changes are. You may have picked up some subtleties by watching. Speaking of subtleties, look real close, everybody. You see how the second hand is giving that illusion of the propeller turning. I hope some of you designers are also getting some creative ideas on new ways of thinking about your watch faces as well. And Robert's been pumping out 1 or 2 new ones a day, all very different, very unique. So bookmark his Google site when you get to it. Because I think you're going to find there are going to be even more things showing up. Lots of interesting detail here. The tag watches, this one kind of a black and white pattern. All sorts of different ways you can go with this. What I really appreciate about Robert's work is his integration of the hands with the background. It's not just slapping on a typical set of hands. Look at that, swords and knives twirling around. Vendetta. Wow. The other version. We're in that sweet zone now where I've really got to angle the watch just right so to avoid reflections. Look at that. You can only go so close for the focus. And for those of you shooting videos of watches, let me tell you, it's really an art, not a science. You've got to mess with your lighting, your positioning, your camera. I thought I had it turned sideways, but it's actually offset like that. Okay. World time, the last one. Amazing work. All right, Robert. There you go. The Robert Poole Complete Collection. Yeah, complete. I don't think you're ever going to be complete, guy. There's just too many incredible things here. Really, really sweet work. Creative genius here. You've been watching Smartwatch Ticks. I would love to tell you about the watch, but I can't. I'd love to tell you more about the watch faces, but I can't. This is a special video just for Robert. Shh, you don't see this, right? So he can evaluate, adjust, and we'll be back, I'm sure, with more of Robert's work and others. And I appreciate your subscription. Thanks for watching.